Ladies and gentlemen,
Yay! Kia ora koutou, welcome back to Big Hearing News Friday edition, Bright Hearing News with myself and Magenta. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Another crazy week of news, and the weather's kind of turned to shit, so that wasn't great either.
Oh.
But it has made staying inside and doing home chores a lot easier to motivate myself, so not too bad.
Nice.
I'm obviously been excited tomorrow. There's going to be a I guess a little party with the Greens for local body elections tomorrow.
Exciting.
Yeah. How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been very good. Lots of things going on. Keeping myself very busy. I was a bit the same today. I had one of those, the days was, we've had some really, really nice days, like really warm, summery kind of days. And then today was just overcast and a little bit bleh. So I felt a bit bleh.
Yeah.
But I did finish a really good series I'm going to recommend to people on Netflix called Madam, which is, I think, number 5 at the moment in the rankings.
Yes. I watched that when it was on 3 now. I think.
Okay. I knew it was a wee bit older because it has Ryan Bridges and it's like as a News Hub reporter, and I'm like, this is a wee bit older, but
hell yeah,
really good
such
show.
a good
Highly
show,
recommend
though.
it.
So good.
It's very, very good.
I'm partway through myself. I don't think I've finished it yet, though. I don't think.
I may have finished it within 48 hours.
Honestly, that's so valid.
I tend to do that with shows though, as I kind of just blitz through them, and then I'm like, cool, I've done my my Netflix watching, and now I'm just waiting for what's the next thing I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the next season of Selling Sunset. No one judge me. It's my everyone has their like garbage TV.
Yeah.
That is my garbage TV.
Mine's Sister Wives, and I'm currently got the new season out. Nice. We're up to episode 2 at the moment, and so good.
Nice. Gotta have something, man. You gotta have something that you can just watch and go, this is so unrealistic, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's something to take your mind off the bullshit.
The world is burning. Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of the world is burning, we have a great show for you tonight, guys. It keeps us on air. We have Steve Abel, who's going to be joining us in a minute to talk about the Marine and Coastal Act Amendment Bill, if I've got that correct. Having a chat about what's been happening in the House this week. And in terms of world news, obviously we've had some big updates about the... I don't know what to call it now. I feel like the war in Gaza doesn't sound right because it's not a war. It's just genocide. It's one-sided. It's a genocide, really. But the genocide in Gaza is perhaps technically correct, but yeah. We could just start saying that instead. I mean, maybe we should just say that. Just say that instead. The genocide in Gaza update.
After seeing Pat show us that video from Gaza only 8 years ago, absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah. But we did have some, it's kind of a weird one. Supposedly we've got a ceasefire. The great peacemaker that is Trump allegedly has got herself a ceasefire of sorts. There's obviously interactions? No. There's a word I've forgotten. Both sides are celebrating, or at least, excited about the possibility that there supposedly will be a ceasefire. Fingers crossed. And also we've had our 3 Kiwis that were detained in Israel returned home as well.
Geez, that took me. It took me ages to find the news articles. Like, I've seen like bits of it, but thankfully, Stuff actually did upload their news article tonight. It must have just happened before the news at 6, so it wasn't a very big story. But
posted one about an hour ago.
Yeah, I think it only just happened. So, but we'll have a look at that, which was really cool to see them back and still in really good spirits despite some of the things that they are saying happened to them. Not just them, but all of the people that were on the flotilla who were detained sort of have stories of that were all kind of corroborating the same themes of imprisonment, unlawful imprisonment, torture, that sort of thing. So not great, but it's good to see that our people have come home. So a bit of a full circle from last week. And then lastly on that, on the docket, we've got good old Nicola Willis. Just keeps inserting herself into the news. Just being the best finance minister of all time, says Nicola Willis.
Yeah, true. They're very good
and
at
maybe, and maybe Ruth Richardson might also say she's second best, but yeah, each to their own.
I don't even know if Ruth would like her.
Who knows? Right, so before we do that, let's go through some quick housekeeping. Because I have been instructed to remind people about the shop, which you can access via bhn.nz or bhnshop.nz. Pretty cool. You can go through our website and purchase things, or you can go through the store and purchase things. But
you can also do it on YouTube now too, can't you?
And you can do it on YouTube now too, which is pretty cool. But if you head over to either of these, we've still got the You Can't Bomb the Truth Away hoodies and t-shirts. I believe the last orders, the last absolute last orders need to be made by midday tomorrow. I assume that's for the donations. Can't remember exactly what he said. But yes, so if you'd like to be part of us, our donation towards is it MAPS?
Yes.
Is it written here? Oh, it doesn't actually say. Oh, I suppose because it's not particular. Yes, we're making a donation to MAPS to help aid Palestinians. And I think I've already done one donation, and this will, if you buy anything on the store, I think it was, anything on the store goes towards donating towards that. BHN will match the donations in part, and then there's supposedly a secret donor who has also said they will match as well. So going to buy anything on the store, and if you particularly want to buy either of these, I think tomorrow midday is the last chance to do so, to be part of it.
Get in quick.
Yes, if that's your thing. And I haven't put it up, but obviously
MAPS if you want to. You can just do that instead if you need.
Yes. Or you can get merch at the same time. And then just before we jump in with Steve, big thank you to our patrons who make this possible. And if you are a patron, you will hopefully have gotten an email from Pat about a meetup online tomorrow at 11 a.m. where Pat will be there. Magenta and I may be there.
No,
Chewie may be there. Oh, Magenta's in. Okay,
I think we're having a group meeting after it anyway, so we'll.
I might be there.
All of us. We might get all of us, but you'll have to turn up to see what happens. So.
Very true. Very true. Righto. Let's jump in. We've got a very exciting guest this evening. We have Steve Abel from the Greens joining us. If you're ready to go, Steve, please everyone say a big hello and welcome to Steve Abel from the Greens.
Kia ora. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to
How
see
are we
you,
doing
Steve.
this evening?
Pretty good. Had a bit of a scramble. The flights were delayed, but here I am. I was at the Waitangi Tribunal commemorations 50th anniversary, which was amazing and timed with the egregious presentation to the House of the second reading of the Marine and Coastal Area Act by Goldsmith, which is a nasty piece of legislation. as you might expect from this government, I guess.
Unfortunately.
Yes, we're very
Especially
used
if
to it by
has
now.
anything to do with Māori.
Yes.
Yeah,
much so.
it's the most anti-treaty, anti-Māori government in my lifetime, I reckon.
I could
For a
believe
very
that.
long time. Yeah.
Wow. There's actually a really good clip of you from Parliament. I assume this was from today, but that was put up on your Instagram. But I think it does a really good job of sort of summarizing your thoughts and feelings, and you say some really very cool things. So if you don't mind listening to yourself for a minute or two,
Oh my God.
I do want to.
Okay.
I do want to pop this on to sort of preface what we're about to have a chat about. I think you do a pretty good job yourself a few hours ago. But yeah, I'll play this for the peoples because I think you've sort of said it already, but I think you say it very well in this as well. Yeah.
Bill is the most anti-treaty act of this government. It is a moving experience to see what we all know is the history of these lands, that the tupuna of tangata whenua Māori sailed that vast ocean of Te Moana Nui a Kiwa to arrive here in these lands. And they have interacted with the Takutai Moana, the marine coastal environment. And yet we seem to be here questioning whether Māori have customary use of the marine coastal environment. How ludicrous. What a preposterous thing to be contending. Anyone who thinks there can be a cohesion or a lasting contentment in our nation for any of us without upholding and making good on the dignity and the intent of that founding agreement, Mr. Speaker, Te Tiriti o Waitangi, is a fool, frankly. Basically, Māori went to court, won in court, and the government went, oh, hang on a minute, we can't have that. We better fix it and undo it. That's what this bill does. It has a constitutionally treasonous character because it betrays the intent of the mutual agreement between two sovereign entities. This bill is in the tradition of traitorous Crown betrayals of Māori. This bill is the most anti-treaty act of this government. Far worse than the Treaty Principles Bill, only because it will pass. This wretched bill will be the first bill on the repeal list of things that we will do to uphold Te Tiriti o Waitangi when there is a change of government in 1 year's time, Mr. Speaker.
Damn.
Some powerful words there. I don't know how you can top yourself, but would you like to add to that? What specifically are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, there's the few bits out of a 10-minute speech and some of the gaps that weren't filled in. The reference I made to the moving experience you get when you recognize the history of the country was I'd seen a thing called the Anaweka Waka, which is a 700-year-old remnant of ocean voyaging canoe that was found at the top of the South Island in Anaweka. And I've seen this thing in artifact when they were restoring, or not restoring it, they were salvaging it basically. And honestly, to see a 700-year-old fragment of a sailing waka, and it's huge, it's like 6 meters, 6 feet long, you know, it's a big piece of timber, it's clearly a waka. And it just makes you go, yeah, this is what we know, that the ancestors of Māori traveled these oceans and came here and lived in the Takutai Moana, which is a marine coastal environment between the high tide mark and the 12 nautical mile limit. And we've created this ludicrous situation where it's contested whether Māori have customary use. And then they have to go to court and jump through these hoops and jump over these bars to prove that they've had undisturbed use from 1840 to the present, basically, to modern times. And it's such an egregious kind of insult to the fact of history that we know iwi Māori and that all here have interacted with that marine coastal environment for centuries and centuries and centuries. And then this government comes in and sets the bar even higher. And worst of all, like what was corrected in 2011 with this bill, with the National and Te Pāti Māori government, was the Foreshore and Seabed Act from 2004, which is the largest confiscation of land in in a very long period of time. Largest confiscation of area rights. It wasn't land, it was the ocean. It was the marine coastal environment under the Clark government. That was corrected by 2011, and the primary thing it did was it allowed iwi Māori to go to court to prove their customary rights. This legislation essentially extinguishes that right to go to court because it retrospectively rules out court findings in recent times, since 2024, that were favourable to iwi Māori. And it sets the bar so high that most Māori will go, it's not worth the time and the effort and the cost, because it's nigh on impossible to get customary rights recognised. So it's so harmful to the principle of rapprochement, of reconciliation, of kotahitanga, of us working together in a cohesive spirit of nationhood, where we make amends for the wrongs of colonisation and we recognise the first property rights of this land, which is customary marine rights, customary rights, you know. And for a government that purports to believe in property rights, actually they don't. They don't believe in the first property rights. They believe in the right of capitalist exploitation of nature and the accumulation of wealth. That's the property rights they believe in. But when it comes to iwi Māori, they are raupatuing. They are confiscating those rights, essentially. And we got pretty fired up. That was actually from yesterday, that video, at about 12:30 in the afternoon. And myself and Hannah Linden and Pene Hinare and Takutai Moana spoke to the bill, and yeah, we were steaming.
Was that felt on from Labour as well? And I assume Te Pāti Māori also had quite a lot to say about this as well, or was it mostly the Greens?
So we've got a fixed sort of allowance of speeches on a bill. On the second reading, you get 1 10-minute speech, 1 5-minute speech for the Greens. Te Pāti Māori, because of their numbers in the House, they get 1 5-minute speech, which was Takutai Moana. And the Labour Party get 3 speeches, I think it is. Yeah, and National get each party gets allocated a number of speeches. There's a total of 12 speeches on a reading. So that was our allocation. But the other sort of scurrilous and dastardly thing was that the actual minister, Goldsmith, had the audacity to not even read out his own bill. So in theory, the minister presenting the bill should stand up and do the first 10-minute speech explaining why the legislation has been brought to the House. He didn't even bother to do that, even though he was in the building. He got Simon Watts, the Minister of Climate Change, to read it out. And then he turned up about halfway through for a bit, and then he took off again. All was sort of insult to injury. If you're going to bring this bill to the House, have the guts to sit there and hear what people have got to say about it. But no, he didn't do that. And the government side takes short calls, so they want to get on with it. So whereas they're allowed to give a 10-minute speech, they'll just get up and do a 30-second speech. Which is also like, come on, make the case for your wretched piece of legislation.
Is that because they just don't see it as for what it is? Do they just not care and they just think they're just ticking a box, or or are they hiding and they don't want to see the backlash from it or hear that it's got issues?
The most cynical bit of it is that they just want the progress of legislation to move as quickly as possible. So if they don't use up time giving a speech, it makes it move through the House more quickly. And that's where the opposition will use up the time we're allocated in principle, because it delays the progress of legislation if we're using the time that we're allowed to use. And particularly when you're in the committee of the whole, where filibustering happens, where you're trying to extend the process of that bit of it. It's sort of, in principle, you should use your full 5-minute allocation. You shouldn't sort of run it short. And the government side do the opposite. They do very short takes, which means that it hasn't functioned as a real debating chamber, has it? It hasn't functioned as a serious debate. But to speak to a more important point there is the ideology that underpins this. It's an ideology that is about a free market, capitalist exploitation of nature, and environmental laws are a barrier to that, and also Te Tiriti o Waitangi is perceived as a barrier to that, because part of what you get if you achieve customary marine title as an iwi group is you get the right to refuse resource consents. So customary marine title would allow an iwi to say, I don't want to have mining and seabed mining in that part of the ocean that we have customary marine title over, or I don't want to have commercial fishing in that part of the ocean. And so in a sense, Goldsmith has been quite explicit about this, that his concern about the inclusion of tikanga in the processes of legal determinations, he sees as a barrier to doing business, basically. And in general, I would say the ideology that underpins the ACT Party and David Seymour's approach to nullifying the treaty as much as is possible is a belief in a pure version of free market neoliberalism, where you wouldn't want the complexity of having to contend with the wishes of the indigenous people.
Yeah. Very, very well put. Magenta, you were there, I hear, in the gallery.
Oh no, I was not. But we did have a few of our people were in the gallery.
Yes, that's who was there.
I've got some pictures actually. We got.
Oh, do you?
Tanya Waikato, right there in red, stunning as always, friend of the show. We got Gary, who everybody loves, and it was great to see Gary there. And over here in the corner, we have Paula and Lurchie, who also did an oral submission on Treaty Principles Bill. So more BHNers. It was good to see everyone in the crowd. Yeah.
That was for Orini's.
It was.
Yes, Orini's. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. It was really good. I also did enjoy watching Jerry have a little bit of a hissy at the end. It was great.
Yeah. We just have to accept that there will be haka in the Parliament of Aotearoa, New Zealand.
We very much. We had this discussion yesterday about why Jerry Brownlee can't understand it, and it comes down to that he's a white man. I think it's all it is. He's a white man who hasn't really experienced Māori culture enough to understand why it happens. And I did like his comment about the tikanga of the house, that there is an agreement of things that, the way that we run things. And my comment to him was, it's not an agreement, it's actually an enforcement of the way that you want things done. So, maybe we should have
talking about agreements here.
Yes, there's a conversation that needs to happen in that regard. But yes,
I think the funny thing is that I have had a conversation with Jerry Brownlee about this, and he, I think, gets the principle that you should be allowed to have these expressions of Māori tikanga in the house. So I'm kind of surprised that he was so reactive yesterday about that. And sure, the house can have a tikanga, but that tikanga has to include Māori tikanga. How can it not? We're in New Zealand.
Yeah. It is interesting the parallels of that and what you've just been talking about with the Marine and Coastal Act. Like, it really is. It's the same discussion again and again of the rights of Māori and Te Tiriti and its place in New Zealand, and how it just keeps getting stripped back and back and back and back. And this is just the next thing. One of the things I really appreciate what you said in that video we just showed was, this is, despite the fact that we've had the Treaty Principles Bill and we've had the other one, which is terrible, I shouldn't forget, the RSB, is it? Regulatory Standards Bill. Despite having that, this bill is the worst because it will go through. And I think that's quite telling of
and the RSB will go through too in theory, but the Treaty Principles Bill was pretty clearly telegraphed as not having the support of National, and it just caused a lot of trouble, hoha, and distress. Biggest mobilisation in New Zealand history, probably, in terms of a hikoi. But the interesting thing is that this one is going to pass. And this one, just because it will get through the House, is going to have real direct impact. It immediately have the effect of nullifying the results in court that a number of EU have been fighting for, which is just outrageous, Talk about a double standard.
I had a question around that. So is this something that historically we've seen governments ever do in terms of the retrospective aspects as well? It does seem almost a little mask off, like there's very little veiling of what the real agenda is here. It's especially when we come to the fast tracking of all of these things. I guess, when you see constitutionally treasonous, that word kind of go like, yeah, like how is this something that we've seen before historically, or?
Yeah, so it's a really good question, because the retrospectivity, they apply it to various things. Like we had a bill through the House where they retrospectively changed the penalty for certain offenders by making the penalty worse. But if those offenders had already been convicted, they would still suffer the new restrictions. And that triggered a Bill of Rights Act disagreement, basically, where the Attorney General has to say this breaks the Bill of Rights. How, this is a Bill of Rights Act breach, surely. And
absolutely.
Retrospectively, particularly effectively nullifying a court process that people have already embarked on, and taking into account that these processes are prolonged, very stressful, expensive. The particular one in this instance, which was precedent setting at the appeal court, and then triggered this whole knee-jerk reaction from this government, was a case between two competing iwi interests, right? So imagine the tension and unpleasantness of that at a basic level. And then, having gone through this grueling, tawdry process as an iwi, in good faith, trusting that the court's decision will be final, you've accepted that you're going to accept the court's decision, the court makes a decision in your favour, in the case of the appeal court finding, then the Attorney General challenges it and it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court finds a sort of reasonable middle ground on this particular case, the Edwards case. And then the government turns around and says, we're just going to retrospectively cancel all that, and you'll have to go back to court again and run it again under our new test, which is higher and harder. It's so insulting, and so it's almost like you're trying to stoke up division and enmity and distrust in the court system and the whole political system. It's almost like you're trying to, kick mud in somebody's face because you want to have a fight.
Absolutely.
And why would you do that? Like, our country is founded on a relationship, a core relationship between then the British Crown and the rangatira o iwi Māori. And that relationship is the first and most important relationship, because out of that relationship stems all the other relationships that we have with the multitudes of people who've come to Aotearoa New Zealand and made this place their home. And the Crown's obligation to uphold the dignity and the integrity of that founding relationship is vital for the cohesion and the good of our whole nation. And this government is betraying that in the most egregious, insulting, and unconstitutional way.
Man, it's
Yeah,
really rough when you put it like that.
Yeah. Yep. No, I don't know how to follow up with it.
Sorry. Kick the buggers out. We've got seriously.
I mean, yep.
Well, I guess there was some questions
out there and vote,
in the chat kind of wondering, like, what can we do to challenge this? Is this just something that we kind of have to watch go through, see how much damage it does, and then try to fix it in the next election? Like,
Yeah, I think the public noise does matter. The dissent does matter. The mobilizations have an impact. The huge submission numbers we've received this term, unprecedented. Constantly breaking records for the number of submissions. Treaty Principles Bill was the biggest submission drive ever. Regulatory Standards Bill was the second biggest. It was a year ago for this one, so I can't remember what the submission numbers, but time and again, we're getting these big turnouts and submissions. So that's inspiring. That means people are kind of engaging and wanting to express their unhappiness and their dissent. As we get into election year, particularly, those mobilizations of public unhappiness are important. They have real political power because one, if things are marginal in the election, which we already know they are, the polls are close, the government becomes more cautious about doing really unpopular things. And because it knows it has to win the majority. Secondly, the New Zealand public on the whole don't want division in the country. Most of us want the country to be a state of peaceful cohesion, and people are already pissed off with this government. People are doing it so tough right now. The cost of living crisis is biting very hard, and so people are already unhappy. Those expressions of dissent against whatever it is you're not happy about, whether it's a 10-year extension on caging mother pigs or it's a opposition to remove all the freshwater protections, or mocking people not being able to drink their drinking water in Canterbury because of nitrate contamination is the nitrate emergency is a gimmick, as Todd McClay called it. Yes. Whatever it is that gets you out of bed in the morning feeling a little bit pissed off, then turn out in the streets, and turn out at the ballot. Tomorrow you can still vote.
Yes,
we've
been
please
telling everyone to get out. I mean, I'm sure everyone here watching has, and if they haven't, I know they're doing it tomorrow morning. But I guess to just kind of to pick up on what you said about kind of like the people power and people movement. I don't know if you've heard about the citizens initiative that some young people have started up. I guess just kind of I was wondering what your thoughts are on, if we were like, would you consider doing something like they have in Denmark and Finland of kind of having so many, I think it's 50,000 signatures for a petition within 6 months and then Parliament must debate it. Kind of like, I guess, wondering whether that, well, like what your thoughts are on something like that, whether you think that's something we could see in the future. Because I do think it's great to see so many people mobilizing and, I'm sure we're all getting sick of writing submissions, but I think it does sometimes feel like, yes, it's doing something, but we can't quite break through that I guess, legislative wall that we're kind of up against. So, yeah, I guess to roundabouts, like wondering what your thoughts are on getting something like that citizens initiative petition.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds, there's also the things like we have citizen-initiated referenda in places like Switzerland, but they can tend to not give you a very sophisticated result because the nuances of a referendum where you've got a couple of simplified choices can end up being leading to an uninformed response. Like when we voted overwhelmingly in favor of the right to smack children, in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we don't have binding citizens-initiated referenda. So even John Key said, that's not the right choice. We're not going to.
Yeah. You can't smack your kids. Sorry.
You can't smack your kids. So I think you can, there's certain ways that you can do it that are not so effective. That's a particular thing of you need to respond to a petition within a certain period of time. We sort of technically have that already. Like we have a petitions committee and the government's kind of obliged to respond to those petitions. And to some extent, they can say, thank you very much. We're not going to pay any attention to that, which is what mostly happens. But listen, the bigger picture of how we do democracy is definitely a conversation we need to have because this adversarial imported, Westminster system from the UK doesn't lead to lasting and deeply considered frameworks, I don't think, because it's just inherently simplified to a contest between two sides, the opposition and the government. And it also lacks the nuance of true direct citizens' participation. And I think some of those models where they have citizens' assemblies and stuff, or you appoint a random group of people to make a particular decision about something over a period of time, I think you can get some really cool results from that stuff, and quite sensible, reflective results. And I certainly think the way that our democracy currently functions has some major shortfalls. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Thank you for giving your thoughts on that.
Yeah. It's because we did talk, something you were saying, is the same with what we talked about a couple of weeks ago with the Citizens Initiative initiated referendums, but or submissions. I think it's an interesting idea that if we've got 300,000 people putting submissions in, maybe you should have an actual debate about it in the House. Or you could do what National apparently did and spend, 30 seconds was it? And then left debating their own bill?
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what the rangatira from Ngāti Wai got upset about, because Todd Stevenson just stood up and said some rubbish about, there's a lot of hyperbole and drama about this. I just think it's correcting the original intent of the law, which the author of the law, Chris Finlayson, has said it's not correcting the original intent. This is going against it. He's so unhappy about it. And the rangatira stood up and just basically said, "In te reo Māori," so far as I understand, because I don't speak. He said, "Who are you? What's your authority?"
Yeah.
Which I thought was a great thing to say. It's like, who the heck are you?
Peter Hammer's great. I think for anyone who's watching, they might remember him as the man who pulled the microphone away from David Seymour.
That's right. It was.
Just in case people might want to. I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
Flawless.
You should wear that on his. Oh, that's amazing. Oh,
very
that's
classy when you did that.
Well, yeah, especially
it was very. It's very well done.
The phrasing of original intent also just feels icky. It's giving a lot of racist, very horrible undertones. And I mean, we're getting so many of those, I guess, more overtones and undertones at this point with this government, where it's very let's try to get all of this out as quick as we can. I mean, we see they're trying to stop changes from how we protest again.
Yeah, it's a problem, that sort of stuff. Yeah, because and we see this lurch to fascism in other parts of the world, and this awful infection of culture war ideas that just, where did this come from? It's sort of directly cut and pasted out of America. It always blows me away how the ACT Party just seems to have no original ideas. They just kind of borrow the latest alt-right kind of narrative out of America. They come in advocating for greater gun liberalisation as if we have a Second Amendment in New Zealand, which we don't. No, you don't have a right to carry guns in New Zealand. You can go to America if you want that.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Well, we've kept you for a good amount of time for your Friday nights. We appreciate you for coming and having a chat with us. Is there anything you want to leave us with before you head off, other than I think the general message there was to continue to speak up and show your dissent for what these guys are doing? Is that just the message that we've got to keep going for another year? We've got this.
Yeah, I mean, it does, turning out to things that you care about, and taking the effort to do stuff on that. It does make a difference. You can be sure that when our inboxes get filled up with correspondence about Palestine or, greyhound racing or whatever, politicians take note. It does have an impact. The number of submissions makes a difference. And as we get into election year, things are going to get messy on the coalition side, I think, because they're going to start trying to differentiate themselves from each other. They're already doing a bit of that. And the public need to keep saying we're not happy, and we need to believe it's a one-term government, and we need to make it so, because we can turf these buggers out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's the next steps for the bill? So this was the second reading in the House. What's going to happen from here?
And I just found out tonight that they're going to bring it back on Tuesday. So they're rushing it. So it's going to be the first thing or the second thing on the order paper on Tuesday afternoon, basically straight after question time. So then we have what's called the Committee of the Whole, where you propose amendments in real time in the House, and you debate it and you go through each clause. And then there'll be the third reading, and then it will have royal assent, and it will be law. And it's really a wicked, unnecessary thing, because the Supreme Court, the Attorney General, the government won in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court passed a magisterial judgment that found the middle ground, and a more dignified, nation-focused leader than Paul Goldsmith would have gone, I'll leave it where the court left it. The court's made a good decision. I'm going to back off now. I didn't need to react to the appeal court decision. But no, they're pushing on. And I think history will record that these were among the darker days in the last generation. And hopefully they'll end in a year's time.
We'll have to make sure of it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Cannot have any more of this.
No, we can't. And we can change it. We can do it. So, hey, I've loved coming on your show. Thank you so much for having me. And,
that's right. Thank you for spending your Friday with us. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I guess we'll see you in Parliament next week.
Yes.
Back again. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. And we'll catch you later.
Me.
That was Steve Abel from the Greens joining us on a Friday night. Man, I don't know how I couldn't do that job and then come and chat with us, but I'm glad
Flying
that you
home
did.
Too. We're on an airplane as well. Like, airplane, car. I'm not sure how far away, but
rushing out the text. No, very, very cool. I always love having politicians to speak about the things that they've been debating, in the intricacies, not only the intricacies of the parliamentary system, but also what bills are going through. Like, our chatters are fantastic at this. They're often telling us about the things that we need to be submitting on. But yeah, it's a lot sometimes, and then you go, oh, that's right, I have heard about this, because I'm sure I can't remember who it is, and someone is always going marine and coastal exhibitions. But yeah, this one feels like a bit of a, I don't know. It feels like a bit of a lost cause a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they also chose just really scummy timing, especially with like the whole 50th anniversary of the Waitangi Tribunal. Like, while they're actively sitting there rushing that shit through. Almost, I mean, it feels on purpose at that point. Like, just to rub salt in the fucking wound. Because, like Steve said, they're just trying to kick and, like, push at us so that we'll get all aggressive and fight back. And then they can go, look at those aggressive Maoris. We fucking told you. Because I'm sure that's what they're doing. Also, yes, sorry, we did have some questions in there, but obviously Steve gave us time on a Friday night, so we weren't able to get to those, unfortunately.
Yes, no. I imagine it's been a big week, so I didn't really... I don't want to keep him all night, but it's very, very nice of him to give his time. But hey, there's more Fridays to come, and more conversations to be had. Right, well, speaking of questions and super chats, shall we get to these while you ready up the memes? So I'll read
we didn't do our TLDR, so I'll run us through that one first,
Yes. Oh, geez, remember, it's 9:45.
Yeah, we've got fucking... Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Mr. Alex is wanting Eames and Magenta's opinions on Upper Hutt Mayor's Wayne Guppy running for a 9th term on the Upper Hutt Facebook groups. People are shocked.
Why
Too
would
local
they be
for me,
shocked that
sorry.
why would they be shocked that a white man wants to keep control? But
Yeah, that's
also,
true.
I don't know enough about Wayne Guppy. Believe he's quite elderly. So, I mean, I'm sure it's probably time for him. He's 71 years old, man. Retirement age isn't 72 yet, dude. You're a bit overdue by the looks.
Kiwi Bird of $2 says, Sup, Steve? We met at the AGM.
Yeah.
JC the Pigeon Cats, $5 says, saw the map of the yellow line that the IDF will withdraw to. Not cool, gives them 58% of Gaza and blocks all borders, yeah. Yes, there's a lot to be said about this peace agreement, for sure. JC the Pigeon Cats also says, dastardly.
Dastardly.
Which is probably
I believe
just
that was
general
when Steve
politics.
was talking
It was-
about the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Not surprising. Legend says, question for Steve, do you think opposition MPs should speak as long as possible past their allotted time to filibuster legislation being passed? I mean, we kind of touched on that a little bit, but yeah, I don't love the filibuster system. Yeah. Especially with the one we just saw with was it Hakeem Jeffries? No. It wasn't him, was it?
Was there a super long one?
The one, no, it was someone else in the States, and it was 70-something hours or whatever it was.
Yeah,
it was
and like Bird didn't go to the bathroom or sit down, like...
It's just not...
Cory Booker, that's the fucking
Cory
name.
Booker, yes. I got Hakeem Jeffries on here
Senator
'cause he's
Cory Booker.
Senator.
Respect on his name.
And then lastly, we have a super sticker from 6 cents
Yeah, I was
Amelia.
gonna go look at that.
But
I forgot to look at
I
that.
don't
on
know
the
what it
old-
is. Does it show us?
I'll look at it on the YouTubes. Wait, can
on the YouTubes.
on the YouTubes.
Also, further on the housekeeping that I mentioned before, the donations. See, someone's paying more attention than I am. So the donations are if you're buying merchandise and you want to donate towards maps, it's $10 per hoodie, $5 per t-shirt, and someone is matching up to $500, and you get free postage if you used WB Chewie, i.e. Welcome Back Chewie.
Yeah.
Checkout code. So,
Well, yeah, and
hey.
your $10 turns to $20 because we top it up, and then our awesome
It turns into
benefactor tops it
30.
up to $40. No,
What?
matches.
Was it?
It matches up to $500.
Oh, it matches ours and oh my goodness.
We can
Crazy.
donate a lot, so yeah.
Yes.
All right. Should we quickly run through our week in memes?
Yes. Yes, we should.
Apparently, I don't know if you heard about the presidential palace in Georgia. More people burning down and taking back their countries. This one's just reusable forever. This meme has existed for a long time. They love beating up beneficiaries. Obviously, Jane Goodall unfortunately passed away. Just, hey Winston, look, on the bright side, at least it wasn't an Israeli missile. Sorry. Oh yeah, look, Stuff put Greta as Hamas. Greta is Hamas now. But I also agree with her. I'm not scared of Israel. I'm scared of the world that seemingly lost all sense of humanity, because it feels like that some fucking days. Girl boss? Nah. Girl union and girl strike. And guerrilla warfare. Because equality. And in case you need reminding, vote. And also sexy orange man. Blue Sky, I posted this on Blue Sky and it instantly got flagged and hasn't been shown to anyone. And then just obviously this government sucks every week. And that was just the pictures of our whānau. But yeah, let's head into our next story.
We have options. We could quickly we'll throw this one up first, I think. We'll get Nicola Willis out the way.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
and then we can continue with the real news, the real problems in the world, not the ones that Nicola wants to constantly create for us. But yes, very much so. But I have lost my tab that I was gonna put up.
Awkward.
Awkward.
That's alright, we'll just put it. You found it? Alright. Otherwise memes are coming back on the screen.
No. We're done with the memes. It's news time, Magenta. We must news.
Fucking news.
Fucking you. Well, today, what's Willis up to? She was at a Bloomberg conference and decided that instead of raising some money for the government, raising money to pay for our infrastructure, our basic necessities as a society, we're not going to tax the rich. We're just going to continue to sell off all of our assets. So supposedly her next suggestion of ways that we could raise money is to sell off technically it's the backing of the government towards Chorus, which is or to build up Chorus. Chorus is the I think Paul was talking about it when I did an interview with him. It's a Christchurch majority Christchurch or Christchurch City Council owned asset, and it basically does all the fibre in the city. So all of the fibre infrastructure after the earthquake was done by Chorus, and the local council has majority shares in it, which means it's a state-owned asset, which is fantastic. And the government put a little bit of money into that to build it up. So they're offering what it seems to be about $1 billion that they could make if they sell off their debt.
Ew.
The amount that they're borrowing to help them do that, and the money that would be paid back to them. And they're saying, no, we could give that debt to a private investor instead, and the private investor could benefit from that. So
I could suck these nuts.
Anyways, that was my really poor example of rounding it up. But now that I've done that, would you like to hear the professionals basically reiterate that in better language? Let's see what's going on in the world. Go.
Finance Minister is exploring the potential sale of the government stake in telecommunications company Chorus in a bid to fill up the coffers. One industry insider estimates it could result in $1 billion cash injection at a time when the government is borrowing billions to keep the lights on. Political correspondent Zane Small reports.
Nicola Willis taking the heat today from Bloomberg's New Zealand Bureau Chief, Matthew Brockett.
The economy is smaller than it was when you took office. That's a tough metric to confront for a government that claims to be a better economic manager than its predecessor. What do you think's gone wrong?
Well, I think that it will have gone right by next year, Matthew.
The Finance Minister hopes to achieve that by growing the economy and finding more savings. Her latest idea is to sell the government's stake in telecommunications company Chorus.
The New Zealand government helped fund the Chorus ultra-fast broadband fibre rollout through a series of debt and equity instruments that were always going to be repayable over the next 5 to 10 years by Chorus.
It's highly technical talk, but basically...
Someone did, yes, there's been multiple comments and I do want to put this out, yes. Chorus was part of the telecom before it was split, and it's the Enable is the Christchurch-based one, Chorus is the Auckland one. Apologies. But similar idea. Enable is Christchurch, Chorus nationwide at Auckland. Yes. It was part of the split of telecom where it was split into two entities, the commercial and the infrastructural side of things, or the services side and the infrastructural side. So carry on.
Back in 2010, the government of the day started giving loans to Chorus to help it build the infrastructure for ultra-fast broadband. That finished in 2022, but the money hasn't been paid back yet. So the government of today is looking into whether it can sell that debt on to an investor to get some cash.
No shares.
Just pointing this out, we're talking 3 years ago. Like this is very short term in terms of like a government type situation. 3 years ago, they finished doing it all, 2022. and now they're like, oh yeah, let's just get rid of that. Like,
well, yeah, the Labour government finished it.
That's true, but like, if they're saying 5 to 10 years to pay it back, that's like, there's not a lot of time. Just it probably comes with interest as well. Like,
this is what that's making me think of. Fucking cashies.
Yep.
We're going to the fucking pawnbroker. And we're not going to get it back, though. That's the thing. Jesus fucking Christ. This is what they did with fucking Mighty River Power. Same fucking thing.
Carry on.
No shares will be traded here. It's effectively selling the debt that is owed to the government at the moment. The government taking that and saying, would some private investors like to own that debt and get a return for that? And in the meantime, we get some cash into the government coffers.
How much would you expect to get?
Okay, sure. Perhaps the ownership at the end. Okay, I'll be honest. I don't understand the technicalities of it. I might be getting something completely wrong. But from the sounds of that, sure, if we're not selling the shares, but the government's not even getting the interest back on its loan. So they're not even getting extra for it. They're basically just selling it off now, getting the cash. But from a long-term perspective, they're losing all of the interest that they're also going to get from owning or lending that money. Like, it just... it's more like a mortgagee. Yeah.
Like,
it is... I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, Craig pointed it out. This government's desperate. They're literally taking money from 18 and 19-year-olds who also have disabilities. They think, oh, we might get $1 billion. What might have helped not need $1 billion? Oh, I don't know. Maybe not giving nearly triple that to landlords in tax breaks, or not choosing to tax the uber wealthy. Not the rich, the uber wealthy.
I do really appreciate that when she's on this. I don't know. I will say this is only clips of it, but the interview that she's having on the stage at the Bloomberg conference, in of itself is its own fucking thing. The guy is kind of pushing back a little bit, but it's very amicable pushback. It's pushback's very, yeah.
How much would you expect to get for that?
Well, look, I'm not going to make a market-sensitive prediction on that. I want to get as much as possible.
I think it's fair to say, ballpark, we're looking at about $1 billion that the government could get.
Cash that would be critical for the government after Treasury's update yesterday showed net debt was $182.2 billion, an increase of $6.7 billion since last year. The government is essentially borrowing to keep the lights on.
Do you still expect to be able to return the budget to surplus in 2028?
Yes, we do.
Treasury acknowledged that many of the government's key fiscal indicators are showing signs of improvement. The year-on-year growth in total expenses was the lowest it has been since 2021.
Just also want to point this out. The year-on-year growth in total expenses was the lowest it has been. They're cutting the government's expenses, are they not? They're literally cutting everything so that we're spending less in everything.
Oh, yeah. They're cutting everything, but then they're also, I don't know if you saw, but the government are paying $15 million to put a roof over some fancy tennis court. But they also took $19 million away from disabled kids in funding. So, also 2021 was COVID.
That's true.
Fucking layers, man.
Layers.
By delivering $43 billion of savings from less efficient parts of the Crown, we have been able to then release investment to education, to health, to other critical areas, and it will be the same in next year's budget.
Budget 2026 shaping up to be another no BS budget.
It's shaping up to be what is this autoplay? The fuck? Sorry.
Gotta love the autoplay.
BHN's algorithm is really
I can imagine.
It's so bad. It's
got to be wacky.
I think I don't know how much Pat uses it. I only use it to do the odd story here and there to play it through the show. But it's all just like, what is it? Golden Buzzer, whatever that show is. America's Got Talent stuff.
Yeah,
it's
right.
all that.
Yeah.
Fun stuffs. There is something actually that I saw today, which kind of it was an RNZ story, and I always RNZ makes me kind of mad sometimes because I feel like their stories are getting more. There's a lot of opinion pieces.
Yeah, no, actually,
more than there should be.
Well, actually, it's
RNZ
funny you
at the
say
moment.
that. I saw on Reddit today people talking about how ever since RNZ got their funding cut and essentially threatened, it seems like maybe they're trying to go the Jim Grennan route so that they can appease the overlords. But hey, that's just caught it on Reddit. Allegedly.
There was a story that I came across today. It literally was today. 5 reasons to feel positive about the New Zealand economy.
I saw that headline.
I think this is also
I didn't
on,
like the way it made me feel.
Yeah, but it's interesting to read through it. There are some things like the official cash rate is dropping, which means interest rates are going down, which, in fairness, great for a certain portion of society. Not great for those trying to enter the market because guess who they'll all be going up against? Landlords. So good luck getting your first home, guys, when you're going up against someone who could afford fucking to lend against their other properties. This was the stat that actually made me kind of laugh. Job ad numbers have increased. Wow, that's amazing. After a very significant fall, the numbers of advertised jobs increased both across both July and August for the first time in more than 3 years. Job numbers have managed to 3 positive months for the first time since mid-2023. Noting that 2 of those job numbers increases were 0.02% and 0.03%. So are barely positive, but could easily be revised negative. Nevertheless, it's the best sign of any emerging turnaround in the labour market we've had so far.
The fucking copium is this?
You know what the margin of error is, guys? The margin of error is like 3%. We're talking about 0.02% and 0.03%, which is basically nil.
Woo.
It's just like there's nothing there. You can't say that it's
scraping, the actual scraping of the walls of the barrel off.
You might as well just say nothing happened. Like that's fuck all. But like that's number 2.
Yeah, like cool. And how many job seekers are there now added to the fucking working income stream?
Nevertheless, it's the best sign of any emerging turnaround the labour market we've seen so far. Wow, we're doing so great, guys.
Ew.
Oh, and then the other thing that I saw as well, which I thought was quite interesting, it was commodity prices are strong. That in itself is its own thing. But I love that. So this is the. Yeah, so Kerr, I think, is the, not that guy. Where is he? Is this Kerr? No, someone else. I can't even find anyone's fucking names. But basically, the US President Donald Trump's tariffs had not hurt. There's no doubt there was a period of extreme volatility in markets that might have frightened a few business owners. They simply just turned out to be a whimper. He surprised us by coming out with these massive numbers, but he's negotiated all the way down to 10 to 15% anyways. It's not a big deal. The exporters I've spoken to who export into the United States are not worried at all. The Kiwi dollar's declined, so that's taking some of the pain. We export meat. Americans love meat. I can't see them giving it up. They like our wine. We are exporting the right goods, which Americans will probably happily pay 15% on. He's basically just completely goes against everything Nicola just said about the last GDP drop, where it was, the tariffs. The tariffs were awful. It hurt us so much. Our GDP fell because of the tariffs. The tariffs, guys. They literally just said, no, I've spoken to people and they couldn't give a shit. This is nothing. And people, like, the market for the US is booming. Like, this will never hurt. Like, we're not just selling meat and wine. We are selling luxury products. Like, a lot of the stuff that we make are luxury products. Like, it's not your everyday type stuff. We as far as I understand, a lot of our potatoes are all homegrown. That's easy. We have a lot of our orchards and stuff, though. Our orchards, the best products from our orchards go straight overseas.
Oh, absolutely.
We get the shit. We get the
literally
absolute
the rubbish
shit.
bin. I used to work in kiwi fruit. We get the fucking rubbish bin. Well, no, technically the rubbish bin often gets made into kiwi fruit juice or fruit juices, so that's why I don't drink.
Don't even get it.
Juice. Just
goes right past you and you're like, nope, so we've got to make juice out of that.
Yeah, no, we get whatever scraps are left from the overseas market. It's always been like that, unfortunately.
And it's the same with
letting them do this to us too.
Yeah, and it's the same with our meat, it's the same with our wine, it's the same with our honey. Like, the meat's the same. Like, the best meat that we have goes straight to, I know we have a ton of halal, not restrictions, but we export a lot of halal meat, essentially. So I assume it goes mostly to, I want to say, like, Saudi Arabia, if I've got that correct.
UAE, probably,
like,
yeah.
UAE, probably more so, yeah. So a lot of our meat goes there.
We have halal supermarkets here in Wellington. Like, you can just go down to the halal supermarket.
Oh yeah, but specifically the meat that we get in our supermarkets. Yeah, but that's like, I'm talking about the stuff that, like, they're just like, no, this is premium. It doesn't even get seen by a New Zealander. Yeah. Like, I may have had connections that may have enabled me to eat some of that meat that surpasses and the top quality stuff. Not anymore these days, but yeah, we don't even see that stuff. So, like, we're fine, guys. I don't think tariffs are gonna hurt us too much. If anything, it's gonna hurt the consumer, not the businesses. Is where I was going. Anyways, that's my rant. Would you like to add anything to that, Magenta?
I mean, the main thing I was, because I kind of started some of these comments here from our chorus cordial. I do think this is very important to point out. Our internet charges will go up, and it also, where was the other comment I found talking about? Did I not start? Also, I agree with this one. Let's not have private equity having financial stake in our infrastructure, because, and I guess that's just the main thing, is like, we've seen from Mighty River Power, from, I mean, telecom, people were talking all about it. We've seen so many instances. And I think I was actually watching a TikTok the other day, and it was talking about how, like, New Zealand governments have really just treated the country like they've just been sitting there stripping parts off, fucking getting rid of it all. And now they're sitting here like, oh, I guess we got to get rid of more of it. We couldn't possibly fucking tax the uber wealthy, or do, like, I don't know, not give our tax breaks to our mates. There's so many things that they could do that they're just choosing not to do. And it's all horrible. Also, this puts it into perspective as well. Selling Chorus would cover about 3 weeks of borrowing. Losing an asset for 3 weeks of borrowing is not worth it. And also, I just feel like this borrowing narrative just needs to kind of get the fuck out the door. Like, countries have debt. That's just kind of how it works, because we've made this system up. We need to stop just kind of being like, oh no, we have to cut money and we have to have balancing books. It's like, no, services for people cost money. That's why they give you their money.
The idea of the horror of taxing people. Right. It makes it. You make a good point about I think it's just clicked for me about what it is. So about the prices going up, because sure, we're not selling our shares. We're not selling our ownership of the asset, but we are selling off our debt to someone who in theory could then hike up their interest rates so that they hold on to that debt for as long as possible. They're lending for as long as possible. It makes it, it takes them longer to pay it off so that they make as much interest as they want on the $1 billion or whatever it is they're lending. And essentially, it leverages it, right? So we may still have ownership of the asset, but we no longer have ownership of the debt. Someone else has the ownership of the debt. It's like if we want that asset, like they could sell off our asset basically. They say, well, if you can't afford to service the debt, sure, you can have your debt back, but you can have it at a fucking premium.
Oh
like,
yeah, I mean
so
it's like
what?
those
We
hire
sell
purchasing agreements where it's like,
exactly.
here, we'll help you buy this car, but you're going to end up paying essentially double for the fucking car.
And it is the same. It's the same as a mortgage, I guess, but in a slightly more convoluted way. But it's all shitty. Just fucking stop it.
Also, yeah, chorus can be a pain in the ass as it is sometimes. All these things they already have kinks that need to be improved upon, not just fucking, making it private equity's problem. It's just, that's really where I'm at the end of that one. Do we want to do a couple of memes or our we have a few super chats in here too.
Yeah, we're a bit over. We're 10:15 already. We're flying through tonight. Go on. What do you got for me?
Memes or questions for memes or chats?
Do it the memes. Do it the memes.
Okay, let's go memes. I've kept your parachute because I've kept your parachute because you kids from low-income homes need some motivation. Don't let that disability slow you down. Also, I posted this one on Discord and people really love the t-shirt. I love this autism t-shirt. It goes so hard. Damien Haas also owns this. Fun fact. This was a really great vote compass that I think really does encapsulate men. You go, buy men, buy men, buy men, buy men. God, the English language is great. Not. The interesting thing about capitalism is that it's entirely incompatible with the future. So we've just decided to get rid of the future and keep capitalism for a short while, which I think actually really ties into that conversation we were just having. And it's not hypocritical to critique capitalism while participating in it. In fact, we are critiquing capitalism largely because we are forced to participate in it in order to survive. How to find Nazis. Post-fuck Nazis. Watch for the "don't call people you disagree with Nazis" comments. You found the Nazis. You're stupid. Found one. Oh yes, Taxpayers Union. We don't believe in government handouts. Also Taxpayers Union. Total amount was $60,436.80 on the 8th of the 4th, 2020. Society. $2,000 is the minimum we need to live each month. Disabled people. So you agree, disability should be raised to $2,000. Society. Disabled people are magical and can live off less. Disabled people. No, we can't. Society. Disabled people are so inspiring. The system is broken and it must be fixed. No, the system is working exactly as intended and must be destroyed. As we're seeing around the world at the moment. And then we'll end on this one, thinking about the time Gavin McInnes, the founder of the Proud Boys, stuck a dildo up his ass on live TV to, and I quote, own the libs. Because that is a right-wing man right there. Hey, he really owned those libs.
I don't know how to respond to this. I was kind of zoned out sorting the next segment, and all
and you're
I
like,
heard
oh,
was
what the hell did I come back to?
Kane shoved a dildo. He did own those libs. Right, well, thank you for entertaining the chat for 5 minutes and entertaining my brain. Oh, Jesus, we do have there's a few super chats. While it's still relevant, Nicola Willis is a liability, not an asset. Love it.
Facts.
Coalition has used up all of their political capital. Also, James Blake, thank you. Yeah, for sure. They're running on dregs. Oh, geez. So can we... Nicola back, only crap.
I don't know which song this is supposed to be.
This phony crap. They're all policies brought by NACT. My
tell me
eyes
what
get
song
so
I'm
red,
supposed
and
to
there's no
be.
hair on Luxon's head.
Send me the song on Discord so I can try to figure out if we know that one.
I think it's an original.
back to
It could be an original. So, who knows? Who knows? And then Piers, leads in very well into our next story. The Nobel Peace Prize winner is a Venezuelan woman. Can't think of anything they would anger Cheetah Lonely more. Yay!
Cheetah Lonely.
And I saw someone said that was happening tonight, so
yes.
there you go. Not Trump, who has been... So yes, Trump has supposedly got us a ceasefire deal. He's the great peacemaker between Gaza and, between Hamas and Israel. And there's been, quite a stir. There's a lot of reactions. A lot of people have said, I think the best one, the best take of it was from, I think it was Pod Save America. And theirs was 2 statements can be true at the same time. We are excited and happy that there's a ceasefire. We are also really skeptical that it will be as they
Understandably.
say. What they say will happen. So I think that's pretty much what everyone's general feelings are of wanting to be happy and excited, but also being realistic and saying, we've seen this before. And say what you want about Trump. I don't...
Fuck 'em.
Yes. Yeah. So let's start. There's quite a few things that happen in this situation. We've had the Kiwis that were detained by Israeli forces. Israel brought back to arrived in Auckland this afternoon. So we'll run through the story, and then there's a few comments that they said because obviously they've been traveling, I think, for like 42 or 48, 72 hours straight. So they hadn't really caught up on the news, but I'll show you. It didn't make it into this story, but I'll play a wee clip afterwards of their reaction to some of the things that might have been said here while they were detained. Some live reactions and some live comments from them.
There has been an emotional homecoming for the 3 New Zealanders who were detained by Israeli forces while on board a flotilla bound for Gaza. Rana Hamida, Yusuf Samoa and Samuel Leeson were intercepted in international waters last week and deported from Israel to Jordan. The trio arrived to cheers and chants of support at Auckland Airport this afternoon, embraced by family and friends as a haka welcomed them home.
It's nice to be home, guys. We're so exhausted. We're so sleep deprived. It's literally been from one place to another. 2 days ago, we got out of essentially a dungeon for 6 days. We were treated like crap, to be honest. We were treated like animals.
It was a demonstration of what violation of humanitarian law is.
So they could spit on us, which they did. They could point shotguns in our face, which they did. But they realized that they couldn't physically hurt us to a point where it would cause an international outcry.
It was amazing to finally feel safe again, feel like my life wasn't at risk anymore. It's been definitely a long month.
The genocide is still ongoing, even though there's a tentative ceasefire deal that I've been seeing in the little time that we've had to read the news. But no, it's time to mobilize more than ever. We're already planning the next flotilla. Hopefully we won't need to, but if the situation is as it is, then we're definitely going to be going again.
Israel deported another 170 activists from the global Samud flotilla, including Greta Thunberg.
Love the name drop at the end there.
Greta Thunberg. So that was the one. The 3 news story. I do want to play this wee clip though from the 3 of them at the airport this afternoon in some more candid commentary about what was possibly said about them while they were in captivity by a certain politician or two.
Feel my family again, but also I feel I'm feeling a little bit pissed with our government at the moment, especially.
Winston Peters said that we knew what we were getting ourselves into, and that New Zealand's taxpayers' money wasn't going to pay to get us out. Was that true? Was that something that was said? Okay, so I'll just maybe add on to what Chloe said about our MPs needing to grow a spine. They should also grow a conscience. And we weren't planning to go to Israel. We were planning to go to Gaza. We were forcibly detained, for the record, in international waters. In some of the boats, they were over 80 nautical miles from the coast. That is, in anybody's book, an illegal action. It's nice to be home, guys. We're so exhausted. We're so sleep deprived. A flat white is definitely on the cards. I'm going to see my cat and have a nap.
It's been definitely a long month, and thank you so much everyone for supporting us while we're away and for coming here to welcome us home. Really appreciate it.
Cute. I say cute because it's just like it's heartwarming.
Yeah, gotta
but
find
it's
the
also
small
kind of
bits. The small
yeah, bittersweet in some ways. What do you think of those comments there, Magenta?
I mean, I don't like. I mean, you could see how offended they were, and they have every right to be offended. I mean, it's one thing to be like, hey, you shouldn't travel to this area because shit's going on, to being like, hey, they're clearly going to give humanitarian aid, which you would have thought, at least historically, New Zealand would have been super keen on. It would have been super down for. But instead, we got just pathetic, almost like, I don't know, petty family drama kind of energy from this government around this whole issue. It's really just I don't know, it just gives, it doesn't feel like something you should see from a politician and their relationship with the country. It feels like something you'd see in, unfortunately, people who have, say, I don't know, toxic friendship environment or family or domestic situations. It's just yuck and disgusting, and the fact that they still deny the fact that it was a war, like international waters. It was a crime. And we have a government that's just like, nah, it's all right. It's all good. What other crimes are they going to allow? Can't. I'm just really I'm surprised they were that nice, to be honest. I think if I had been fucking kidnapped by the IOF, oh, you know, I would be fucking, I wouldn't hold my tongue. That's for sure. They are better than me, that's in that regard.
Thank you for perfectly segueing into the next little bit. One of the other people that was released this week was Kieran Andrew, who was also detained after one of his boats, being part of the flotilla, was intercepted by Israeli forces and was also detained. Alongside the same time, or the same boat as Greta Thunberg. And he has some really interesting insights, actually. He talks about the things that they did to them in a bit more detail. Some of the harrowing stuff that happened that really shook him. You know, the human rights violations of not giving them their medicines, not allowing them sleep torture, psychological torture, physical torture, in varying degrees. But there's an interview that he did at the airport after he'd just gotten home, essentially. Sort of like, it feels very much like he's just gotten off the plane and he wants to get all of this off of his chest, and it's a really nice, very genuine reaction to what he's just been through, in wanting to get this information out there. But I want to show a few of these moments that he describes, because I think, honestly, he comes across so much. A lot of these people that I've seen speak after they've been detained and they've come back, they have so much strength beyond what I would ever have. Oh, yeah. Like, they are still, I would be a broken person, but they have such a grounded sense of morality that they're doing the right thing, they did the right thing, and they were in the right place at the right time. Like, they knew what they were getting themselves into, even if it was probably worse than what they were hoping to experience. But yeah, just so much admiration and strength. I'll play this wee clip here because he talks about the moment that Ben Gravier, I think his name is, walks past them as an attempt of a bit of a publicity stunt to show the you're in our hands now and we've got you, and just attempt to be big macho man.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Ben Gavir being wheeled out. So I was there on my knees with my head on the concrete with these guys breathing down our necks, prowling around us. And suddenly I saw some legs go past me and a few more legs go past me. And I dared to look up a bit and I realized, fuck, that's Ben Gavir. But this is, again, I think a good moment for teasing out, showing the kind of failure of their strategy, the kind of gimcrack absurdity of what they were trying to do all the way through. Ben Gavir obviously came because he thought that he could prowl in front of us like a cat in front of mice and that we'd be cowed, that we'd be terrified. Immediately, everybody started shouting free, free Palestine and calling him a baby killer and so on. And actually, the Israeli police were really shocked. Everyone was really shocked because they didn't expect that. They expected us to be terrified. And everybody was defiant. And Ben Gavir started shouting at us, you're terrorists, you're terrorists. And we shouted, you're a baby killer, free Palestine. And we drowned them out. And then, 10 minutes later, he went away. 10 minutes later, the Israeli police came out and they put these kind of plastic, the things that are used in construction to tie very, very tightly on all our hands. Basically everyone there, because everyone was chanting. So they tied our hands, and then we were there for the next 2 to 3 hours. I was struggling so much with pins and needles. And after about 3 hours there, I was then asked to go inside and I was then processed through the processing center and sent to jail.
And can you tell me a bit more about
So that's one of his, I still find it very funny. Like, they had so much strength to just be like, no, fuck you. We're here to protest and we're going to protest. Mm-hmm. Like, and the fact that they were shocked was kind of like, good on them. Like they didn't, they expected them to sort of like, oh, coward. Which I think he did explain that earlier on that he, in the beginning, once they'd been sort of taken off the boats and sort of thrown down, they were all very silent and just sort of like, we don't really know what's going on. But then, sort of got their energy back once they figured out what was going on. The next wee bit as well that I want to show you is later in their detainment, when the international, I think it was the Italian embassy, people come to visit them. The shock that the IDF soldiers have when they're being accused of being war criminals or breaking human rights and things. And the shock that they have for the hatred that people have towards the IDF. I think this is quite interesting. This is a really interesting analysis. Yeah, of what he experienced. I'm going to change this down to 1.25 because it's, here we go, try this way.
And frightened that the guards were really trying to taunt us and humiliate us, and they were succeeding. They would, on the first night, we got into our cell, 10 people to a cell, and we all fell asleep. It was exhausting. The whole day had been exhausting. It was 6 a.m. About 10 minutes later, they came and bashed on the door, turned on the lights, said, stand up. We got up, and then they laughed, turned off the lights. We went back to sleep. 10 minutes later, they did the same thing. They did that for about 2 hours. On the second day, we basically were like shouting at them, and we were singing, and they were saying, stop singing, and we were refusing, and we were insulting them, and we were calling them every name under the sun. Tommy Marcus, who's a Jewish American guy from New Jersey, was screaming in their faces, you are Nazis, you're effing Nazis, you're not giving me my medication, you're not giving us our medication, you're denying us water, fuck you all, you're Nazis. And they were terrified, they were genuinely terrified. They were overwhelmed. Later that day, the Italian Consular General came down to visit the cells and to visit the Italian inmates. And they were standing there like frightened schoolchildren because we were screaming at them, telling the Italian Consular General what they had been doing to us. And they looked terrified. And they talked, they were threatening to do X, Y, and Z, but they didn't do anything. So we turned the tables on them psychologically. And I think that is demonstrative of something deeper going on in Israeli society. They're very frightened. They're very ignorant. And they don't understand why the world hates them, but they know that the world does hate them.
Here's Dharma.
So some very, very interesting insights to what he's experienced. Those things just kind of jumped out at me. And then there's lots of things happening. Greta Thunberg's also talked. Well, she hasn't necessarily, but other people have spoken about the things that happened to her. And I think she's done a really good job of not making it about herself and just saying, this isn't about what happened to me. Palestinians are going through far worse. Let's talk about that instead. But I'm sure, there's no shortage of people telling. I think one of the ones was IDF wrapped her in an Israeli flag and took pictures of her, and it's basically tortured her in many a different way. So, pretty awful stuff. But I guess the good thing is that they're all home now. It won't be the last of it, but I hope there isn't another flotilla that needs to go. But if there is, all my heart goes to them. I couldn't do what these guys have done. So.
Oh, absolutely. They're so strong. And actually, it's interesting kind of what they were touching on there. There's this little video that I kind of wanted us to have a quick look at. It's real short, but it perfectly ties into what you're talking about. Oh, why is there no sound?
Posting about Palestine doesn't do anything. Show them this.
We have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are on social media.
And then show them this.
Israel is paying upwards of $7,000 to influencers per post to push their Zionist propaganda.
And this.
The number of Americans who view Israel negatively has skyrocketed since 2022.
See, the one thing that oppressors want to control more than land and money and resources and governments is the narrative. Because without controlling the narrative, they cannot maintain the control of the rest of it. The next time someone tells you that posting about Palestine...
But yeah, I mean, I just feel like they're perfectly tied into what we were talking about. Like, it does feel hard when we, come into the chat every day, fucking, I don't know what it's like for you guys, but in Wellington, protesting for Palestine almost every month at this point. But, I mean, as you saw there, Netanyahu is afraid. He does know that, like, we do have power so long as we don't let them wear us down. And I'm just so impressed by their ability to... I think most people in that situation would just be so scared that they would be super quiet and just worried about trying to stay alive. At that point, honestly, with those kind of people, I think they took the right route. Like, if they're gonna kill you, they're gonna kill you. You might as well try to actually, like, I guess, die by your values rather than live with that bullshit. But yeah, I do think it's a really important reminder to people that these conversations, even though they're just small bits of a bigger picture, they're still important.
Just thinking.
How's that going?
It's hurting.
Yeah. Actually, fair point. Actually, we do have them like couple of more than once a week. You're so right.
That's true. Well, I was debating whether or not I played the. I think we all know what's going on with Trump.
No,
but
yeah.
There's a ceasefire supposedly. Everyone's celebrating.
Allegedly.
Everyone wants the hostages back. I think it's too early to say too much on it because I think, despite the fact that a deal has been reached, amazing, we're all good to go. I want to see what happens over the weekend. Because, like last week, Winston Peters, his comments aged like milk. I said it. I said it. He said they're not abducted, they haven't been kidnapped, they'll come home ASAP. They've only just come home. They went to jail, and they've only just come home. This is the people that they detained, the kiwis they detained from the flotilla. So, ceasefire, I'd like to see what happens in the next 3 days.
Yeah, honestly, after the last ceasefire, I know everyone's very skeptical. And I think we're justified in being skeptical. We see what they're doing. We see the fascism. We see the Nazism. which we need to find a new word for like whatever this version's nasty is. I guess maybe IDF soldier or whatever. But yeah, it's something that I think is way too early. I mean, hell, I'll be surprised if we know enough by Monday. This will probably be something we have to keep an eye on for quite some time. This is just like the beginning of something, potentially.
Yeah.
If we've got time, I wouldn't mind popping up a quick video that kind of relevant to what you and Patty were talking about last night. I also actually have a meme for you based on last night's episode. I got some good quick news stories for us, like good news, so that we can not go to bed depressed tonight, because
yay,
that's probably been happening a bit too fucking much. But I will warn, this is not good news. This is very, very bad news. And it has to do with Niantic. So, and also for I guess context, Pokemon Go is technically like not the original of the ARG kind of technology that was created. They started with a game called Ingress first, built that up, and then went into Pokemon Go. But you're going to recognize a name of a company in here, and I hope it spikes those little hairs on the back of your neck. We'll make sure this is not muted.
Oh, congratulations! You've helped build a global military surveillance tool. I'm being 100% serious. Your childhood nostalgia was repackaged into a mobile game, and then the data that you gave it is now fueling a hyper-detailed 3D map of the planet used by defense contractors. Gotta catch them all? Well, more like gotta geolocate them all. The project in question is called Orbion, a collaboration between Niantic, the Pokemon Go people, and defense contractors like Echelon, Black Sky, IceEye, and Distance. Their goal is to create a real-time, constantly updating, centimeter-accurate digital twin of Earth, a synthetic planet. Not for fun or for games, but for military training, war response, disaster response, surveillance, and of course, AI training. They're combining satellite footage, radar imaging, AI inference, video photogrammetry, and blending it all with the massive geospatial dataset collected from our phones via Niantic. Which means Pokemon Go was a surveillance app with a gamified skin, and we all happily handed over our location, movement patterns, and camera feed for a Pikachu. Project Orbion's PR is slick. They talk about natural disasters, urban rescue, wildfire monitoring, floods. Sounds noble, right? But let's be real. If you're building a centimeter-accurate model of the planet, you're probably not just helping firefighters. You're most likely going to be helping missiles, you'll be helping drones, you'll be helping governments see through clouds and smoke to track troop movements. This isn't Google Earth, this is Battlefield Earth, and let's not pretend that the humanitarian spin will last, because once this system is operational, you don't think they'll sell it to the highest bidder? Do you really think that the Pentagon and Lockheed Martin are out here to save the bees? And here's the part that gets me. This started with a kids game. Pokemon Go wasn't some goofy fluke. Niantic literally came from Google's internal geospatial division. They were literally the minds behind Google Earth. And what did they do? Well, they wrapped a surveillance-grade mapping experiment inside of an app about catching nostalgic creatures. And we all ran to download it. We volunteered our location, our walking routes, our camera angles, even our elevation data. And now they're turning that data into a 3D simulation of the planet for real-time situational awareness. This is what it looks like when a fun, silly mobile game mutates into a surveillance industrial asset. We gave them geodata and they gave us Pikachu, which means somewhere out there, your old Pokestop is now a data point in a digital twin. If you've
So, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt there because there's so much that, like, yeah. And obviously, fun fact, if you want to go find some old content of me, I did an Ingress tutorial on YouTube and it still exists. Go find it. Have fun. So I felt particularly depressed by this story, but at the same time, I'm just glad that this came across my awareness, because I did look into it, and yeah, this contract in Orbion, it's yet another, I guess, thing going on in the background that's, just adding to all of this war technology, and unfortunately how they're going to take advantage of us and all of that. And I mean, they're definitely going to spin it as like, oh, but we'll be able to help with disaster relief and like all these like humanitarian things, which, yeah, that part's great. it's the rest, and I mean, I think we've seen a lot of comments. Yeah, Skynet. Also, I don't know if you've seen Trump's Golden Dome. Add the dome plus this, like, it's dystopian, but it's unfortunately real. And I just thought everyone should probably know about that. Unfortunately.
The thing that comes to mind is the I mean, it's hard to argue when it's like, oh, look, flood relief, disaster relief, floods, all this sort of thing. It's hard to be like, wow, yes, but the payoff is blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if that's being done by a private entity, the only way that we're going to get those benefits is if someone pays for them. They're not just going to be like, oh, look at all these good things that we did for the planet, and here's all this information that you need. And it's like, no, you're going to make money off of that information. Now you're going to make governments pay to save us, essentially. Or you're just going to use that data to do nefarious things, or, you know, give it to the highest bidder, person with the biggest military budget, and tell them how to. Something that did come to mind that I thought was kind of like, how can we fuck with this system? And all I could think of is like, every time I go outside, my head's just being like followed, right? In theory, everyone's heads are just being followed around everywhere they go when they're outside. And then I was thinking about how Google Streets, the Google Maps, the little cars go past, they take photos, and the odd time they'll snap something weird and funny, and some people are like purposely doing dumb shit. And I was thinking, all I can think of is just like, everyone just lies down butt naked and ruins all of their footage with just like naked people all over the planet. Just butt cheeks everywhere. I don't know. That's all I can think of. Just moon the satellites. I don't know. That's all I got for you guys. I can't really. Don't know how else we're gonna turn it into a funny. Yeah, that's where my brain went.
There's no way to turn it into a funny, but I know I've seen heaps. Have you watched this video? I have had so many people tell me about it already. By Juice Media, honest government ad. I don't know if we could probably watch it here. Have you seen it?
Oh, you mean those guys?
Yeah.
They did a Norway one
on us. They've done one on us, and people think they might have been watching BHN based on the way they put the information. Atlas Network got a mention. Atlas Network. I was so stoked about that. So yes, I have seen it. It's fucking amazing. I don't know if we could watch it here. It is like a 4-minute or 3.5 minute video, but
will they demonetize us?
That's the problem, is I'm not sure on that end, and so I don't know if it's really.
We'll have to turn the volume down and laugh really egregiously.
All right, I can turn it down
and say this is commentary on your amazing comedy, Juice Media.
Yeah.
We love your videos. Actually,
I already commented that I've subscribed, and I'd never heard of them before until today. Never heard of them.
You serious?
No fucking clue. Never heard of them. I watch Smosh and Try Guys, okay?
These guys have been around for yonks, and they're so fucking good. I know they did a Norway one. I didn't realize they'd done a New Zealand one. This is like peak. This is like peak.
A lot of people in the comments were excited, being like, "Oh my god, New Zealand mentioned."
Woohoo, we suck.
Majestical land of beauty, exotic birds, delicacies like hot pies and ghost chips, and home to a people with a deep love of nature and the world's sexiest accents. Suck shit, Aussies. It's also home to the epic trilogy, The Landlord of the Rings, in which a bunch of rich...
The Landlord of the Rings fucking got me. Just...
Also, she said...
Wankers
she purposely said chips like a Kiwi.
Yeah.
There's definitely. I was like, that's. An Australian accent. It was no chips.
I almost thought that this was a Kiwi, because like the information and like the accents, they're actually pretty spot on.
A government to steal from Kiwis and give themselves tax breaks on their investment properties. Starring Christopher Gollum, Saruman Peters, and his dipshit sidekick, and The Eye of Seymour. Directed by the Atlas Network. Now please rise
Atlas Network mention. I'm also pausing so we don't get demonetized.
For our national anthem.
Also, yeah, that national anthem.
I'm from the government of New Zealand, the pure green
Great song.
haven you've been thinking of
Right.
escaping to when your country is hit by fires, floods, and fascism. Except now, Kiwis are escaping New Zealand. And that's because since we've taken over, we've left no corner of this country unfucked. We kicked thousands out of emergency housing, cut equity pay for nurses and teachers, cut funding for food banks, cut disability funding, cut KiwiSaver, cut public transport discounts, and cut part-time workers' sick leave. National Party, putting the N back in cuts. And sure, our cuts to school lunches are making kids dumber, but that's how we're ensuring a new generation of national voters, which is why
Sick burn. Very sick burn.
Ouch.
Chris is personally overseeing this.
What's K18? I'm just checking.
Honestly, every time I watch this, it hurts my soul a little bit more inside. Our Prime
what?
Minister. Yeah, no, that's real. Okay, we'll take that back. What, like?
What's
couple of-
KAT? Is he
Yeah.
asking what the kids are talking about, or is he what?
No, he asked them, like, what is KA, how do you spell cat? Was it? There we go. There we go.
Personally overseeing this.
What's K18? I'm just checking to make sure.
Although maybe his CEO brain was thinking cat. Maybe he was trying to infect their little brains with, I don't know, man. We pay this dude $500,000. I don't know.
He's just what? I'm so confused. What?
Yeah.
Did he literally misspell cat, or is it?
Yes, no, this is an old one. That's an old bloody.
Oh God, dude.
I don't actually. I say old, but it could be any time.
It's
in the last
23.
3 or 4 years.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
It's
there we
3 or
go.
4 years
23.
Are we at least helping Kiwis to face rising poverty? Yeah, nah. But we did blow 40k to fly not 1, but 2 PMs doing jack shit about rising inequality to eat pavlova on a fucking mountain.
Problem solved.
Huge cut. But don't worry, we still have New Zealand's beautiful nature. Sure, half our rivers aren't safe to swim in, our drinking water's contaminated with nitrates, and the number of lakes that are still in good health comes to approximately fuck all. But that's a price we're willing to pay to keep our
I think she must have. That's Nicola Willis's actual calculator. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Is happy. Donate now and we'll approve your shitty project today. Visit Denniston Plateau, a biodiversity hotspot on conservation land, which makes it the perfect spot for a fucking coal mine. Not even our national bird is safe. Fuck you, Kiwi. We're also approving seabed mining in Taranaki, continuing our trawling genocide on the seafloor. Fuck you, Maui dolphin, and resuming oil and gas exploration in a climate crisis. Fuck you, world. But hey, at least we.
Fuck you, world. So accurate. Actually, I think I'll probably need to just get this frame. I think I should just post this on.
Yeah.
Blue Sky.
You world. But hey, at least we still have Maori culture. Sure, we tried our best to wipe it out by taking.
Also, can we just appreciate that this lady actually pronounced Maori correctly?
I don't know if this is her voice now. Now I'm second guessing.
It does. Well, I mean, to be fair, you know, you put on your little presenter voice, it'd be like that. This isn't, funnily enough, not my presenter voice, even though technically it should be.
That's beyond a present. That's a Kiwi accent. Now I'm gonna check on.
I don't know. I never heard of these guys till today.
Land and banning their language, but that's all in the past. Well, apart from how we just tried to take a shit on the Treaty of Waitangi with this bill, sadly, everyone told us to get fucked. So naturally, we're going to try to erase Māori rights again with this bill, and by removing te reo Māori words from school books, cause koretake mato. But don't worry, we're not racist, cause we're...
Also, just for everyone, koretake mato is we're useless. So, yeah, just as a quick little...
Screwing everyone else too. When you put all this together, you can see why hundreds of Kiwis are leaving each day, mainly to fucking Australia. We're just hoping they forget to register to vote, so that they can't kick this bunch of shitlords and Nazguls out at the next election. Visit New Zealand.
Oh shit, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
No!
Which is why we need to make sure everyone fucking votes.
No,
And
we're losing
exactly.
a plane load of good people a day.
Yep.
The ones
200.
who vote because they're smart.
They're also the same ones who could have children overseas that wouldn't actually have citizenship here, so they'd have no pathway home. This government
Fuck! I hadn't even thought of that.
There's always another layer, man. There's always another fucking layer. Oh no, guys, we broke M's. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe. Nah, but they did such a good job on it, honestly. Like they really did. So I'm very impressed. Definitely gave them a subscribe. And everyone can stop asking us if we've seen it now. But yeah, so good. So fucking good. I guess we should probably do some quick memes, eh?
So good it made me
Speed run.
depressed.
Aw, we'll try to cheer you up with memes. You know I can't work your ghost jobs. Go away. Yeah, it's the far left versus the center right. This is why the far left are very angry. Violence has no place in politics. State monopoly on violence through highly militarized police. Violent oppression of minorities and those who seek to defend them. Violent coups to protect capitalist interests. Ongoing slavery. Imperialism. State-funded motherfucking genocide. So, yeah, violence is only not acceptable if it's on the left. Feeding and housing the poor will do more to reduce crime than any amount of punishment ever will. Someone tell this government, please. Oh yeah, Ems, have you ever considered being a tobacco company? That might fix all your problems. Wait.
Yeah, I'll just time travel back like 100 years and I'll be part of that whole bullshit and then I'll just come back and I'll be a multi-billionaire. Yep, sounds good.
Although if you go back as a woman, that's probably...
Sorry. I'll go back 100 years. I'll hit up the guy who's going to get into tobacco and then I'll be good. Yeah, okay, cool.
Exactly. Oh, this is actually someone I believe in our community. Winston has had a secure taxpayer-funded salary expense for 40 plus years. He has a full fridge, a warm house, and security. He has no excuse for being such a nasty, divisive, vile old man, spewing discord, misinformation, and hate, as well as dismantling health and safety security. And I just thought, let's rant at Winnie for a second. What being broke has taught me: poor people pay twice. Cheap shoes that break, cheap cars that need repairs, cheap food that causes health problems, can't buy in bulk, can't wait for sales, poverty charges interest on everything. Being poor is expensive. I can confirm. And then we'll run through... Oh, this isn't actually a meme. This is just a screenshot from Big Herald News. And honestly, it just... Chloe's face says it all. Argues with Wahine Māori online. What do the sun and Wahine Māori have in common? White people can't handle how bright they are. Are these jobs in the room with us right now, Prime Minister? There are plenty of jobs out there for 18 and 19-year-olds. Heaps. The world doesn't owe you a living. I'm entitled. Oh yeah, so someone started this. We got the Nile River, Denial River, and Senile River, which... Ems, make sure you're looking at this. It's funny shit. Because it gets better. We got evolutions. And then we got Vile River, which is quite horrible to look at. And then we got Imbecile River. And then I got a little bit of inspiration and made the Child's River.
I'll find out.
And then I gave myself the award for it because you know what? It's Gary. He always wins.
Bias.
Yeah, although since we are almost out of time, do we want one last more good story?
Oh, go on. You turned the last somewhat... Well, actually, no, that wasn't your story. That was the chat story. The chat story turned a good into a bad, so I do need another good story to get me through.
Okay, good one.
I need a reason to vote tomorrow.
Oh, actually, I can give you something that's catered to you.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do this. Fuck it.
Personalized story time.
Right? Why not? There's plenty of things to talk about. Is this one? Yes. Share.
Where did Gaza get his suit from? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Maybe Gaz, give us a bit of a shout out to where you guys got these suits, because honestly, I mean they wouldn't come in my size, but
not
be nice to know
just
where they come
the
from.
suit. It's a tie as well. That's fucking
right.
It's what do you call it?
I don't know. Slick fit.
Couture was the word I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
Very couture.
But yeah, I thought this one actually would be a bit of you.
Especially for people with ADHD. These unique theaters let you watch a movie while doing crafts like knitting, embroidery, or even drawing, so you can stay calm, focused, and fully engaged. The whole setup is built for comfort, soft lighting, freedom to move, and zero judgment if you can't sit still. It's one of the most inclusive cinema experiences ever, and people love it. If your city needs something like this, share this video.
Something just tiny, little, but isn't that just a cool idea of how we could kind of change things up? And then just going to show
Honestly,
you this
it would be a lot more of a communal experience, wouldn't it?
Oh,
It would just be like, hey, everyone come around to my house, we're going to watch a movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
As opposed
literally.
to, let's all sit seriously in a movie and like not eat really loudly and then get really subconscious when you put your hand in the popcorn or like you sip the last of your drink and it's like a serious
you get like a
scene.
bag of chips
or you get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is also just fun. I don't think. Oh, you can have sound, but this is a Ukrainian soldier who is repelling a Russian attack using the game controller.
Wait, isn't that a Steam Deck?
Yeah. He's literally playing like Call of Duty IRL.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Dude, if I have to be in war, that I'm all for that. Give me a
This is
Steam
like,
Deck.
I found my spot.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be the one behind the game controller, being like, "Hey, Russians." But no, other than that, I will.
Also, I thought I'd play you this last quick little thing. This is from last night's discussion at the end of you and Pat's episode.
But the thing that I just want to, it's so magnificent because and this is all I'm.
Sorry, he started partway through. That was not even a full sentence.
I have a weird thing with spoilers. I don't like when people tell me before I go to see a show or a movie, anything like, let me just tell you. I'm not going to spoil it, but the thing that I just want to, it's so magnificent because and this is all I'm going to say. Yeah. And it's like, it's fucking spoiled. It's already spoiled.
Absolutely. Even if people aren't giving away details, if they're hyping it up like that, and I'm like, I'm not going to have the same experience. You're altering my expectation. You're putting your experience into mine, and now it's just gonna jank it up.
Yeah, and then I found it funny that Instagram served me this video, I think, earlier today. But also, this is why I hate spoilers, or why I hate when people kind of get a bit too like, oh, just this tiny bit. Because I'm like, no, I need to go into a movie the same way that you went into a movie. Probably. Not knowing goddamn shit. I need that experience. Also,
the thing I find really difficult about not spoiling something is when you know you're both watching the same series or something, and you're like, trying to gauge where the other person's at, because you're like, but you saw like the thing, and they're like, what thing? And then they're like, the thing with this, and like you don't want to say too much, and the other person's like, oh yeah, that thing, and you're like, yeah, that thing, and then like, okay, cool, we've seen the same bit, but then you don't want to be the person who's like, oh yeah, last episode was fucking great when such and such died, and they're just like, I hadn't gotten that far yet, bro. You just ruined it, and they're like, oh fuck.
Exactly.
So it's always that weird like, which part we've been doing this at the moment with Go See Yote, because my partner's well ahead of me, because I've just been like doing other shit. But we've also taken two completely different routes for the story, and so he's like, oh yeah, this thing happens in like this direction, and like all of this weird side like timeline stuff, and I'm like, I haven't seen any of that. I'm like doing other shit over here, and he's like, oh wait, that's a different like. So yeah, we're just like trying not to spoil it for each other, but pretty hard to do. So there you go. It's all.
Oh yeah, don't mind me. I'm slightly distracted because I saw this comment. BHN got mentioned by TPM on the latest episode of Mata.
Wait, what?
Yeah, 1 hour
fucking
ago.
breaking news.
It's a 39-minute episode video, so if you know the rough timestamp, fuck it, we're at 11. Who cares? If you know where the timestamp is,
this is our fucking show. We can do what we want.
Right? Actually, you know what? Pat's not here. He can't tell us what to do.
Pat, this is breaking news. We've got to mention.
Right? While you look for that, actually, fuck it. I'll check up the last little non-politics memes while we think.
Keep
this
memeing.
Is Bill.
Keep memeing.
Bill doesn't have time for your shit. Bill is smart. Fuck off. Me as a kid. Expecto Patronum. Me now. Expensive petroleum. Also, man, that picture of Dan Rad makes me very... Oh, yeah. I love this. You dried. I want this towel. Researchers believe autism is caused by trains being so gosh darn cool. Oh, this one's adorable. There was a bunny at Lowe's eating all the flowers. Ha! You go, little bun. Fight the power. Won't make me pay for these flowers. Oh, yeah, I thought actually everyone might like this insult. What's the best verbal insult without using swears or slurs that you know? You bring joy to every room you exit. Just chuck that one in the kete whānau, because it's a pretty solid line. And then someone posted a pet. So this is Zeke. She's 12 years old, and she does not like to do what she's told. And she's very adorable and very cute. And I hope this padding is working. Oh, 3718.
Got it.
3718.
I got it.
Got it? All right.
I got
I'm
it.
going to take the cat off the
I got
screen.
it.
Let's fucking go. Live reactions. Breaking news, whānau.
Breaking news! BHN is mentioned, and at the very end of this very large interview.
Hey, that's the ending of the goods.
Let's have a listen. Go on, Debbie. What you got for us?
Oh, nah, can't hear. Oh,
so we will make sure that we continue to be the barrier for our people heading forward.
I think too, just on that note, determines we determine, and so do our people, on which media matter too. This place here, the media think they're the be all and end all. Actually, we've been doing a lot of media. We've done BHN, we've done Wātea, we've done podcasts, we've done international, we've done Pacific, we've done a whole lot. We just haven't done these ones who think that they are the be all and end all.
Porini Kaipara, she did him.
Oh yeah, we got mentioned before Wātea. Yeah, what the fuck? Let's go.
Yeah.
Shout out fire. I know, right?
Hey,
right?
look.
Then this,
If they know we were saying.
right? Oh my god, I love that. Thank you
Not
so
even,
much.
not even Bomber's
Oh, yo!
Bradbury group on Wātea. Just Wātea. Not even Bradbury group. Fuck you, Bomber.
Right? Hell yeah. Oh,
Hell yeah.
See? 20,000. See,
Yeah,
we
we
hit
gotta-
the 20,000 mark, and now we get.
See, I told you.
Yep,
I
yep.
told you. I
It
told you the
does.
20K was the
It was the
thing you
number.
have to reach, and now we are legit.
Look,
That's
mama,
cool.
we made it. I think that's what they say, isn't it?
But if you
wow.
would like to go and actually watch the full thing, not just the last
Yes,
minute,
I'm gonna have to watch that.
RNZ, Te Pāti Māori on their plan to change the government and steady their waka, which will be, if that's kind of the tone of this interview, I'm very interested to watch. Yeah.
No, I think it's
Very cool.
awesome.
See. It's interesting. This is actually, not to make this a 2 hour and 15-minute episode, interesting that this has come out after the weeks they've just had. Weeks. I don't know. They kind of had like a week. But I suppose there was other stuff that happened with
The
Takutai
the Takuta stuff has definitely made
Yeah.
it drag.
So I'd be very interested to have a listen to this over the weekend. And I imagine Pat and Chewie would probably touch on a wee bit of it on Monday, I wonder. Yeah.
Also, I love this. We're out of our teens. We're adults now. We're 20.
But also, I agree with Peter. What's today for Notice Me Senpai?
You know what? I'll work on it. Oh, I forgot to tell everyone.
Notice Me Senpai. Notice. Yes?
Te karere pāho. Big hearing news. Te karere
Ooh, I like it.
pāho.
Rolls off
yeah,
the-
I'm gonna.
rolls
I'm gonna,
off the
I got
tongue.
Paula to translate. So she's a kayako. So I got the expert to translate it for us, whānau. I'm gonna write it in the chat. I totally forgot to say that at the top of the episode. We had a guest. So I didn't want to take too- Pāho. So P A with a macron HAU. I'm chucking it in the chat.
Paho.
It just reminded me.
Te
But yes,
karere
notice me
paho.
senpai. I don't know if I'll get Paula to do that one for me, but I know who to hit up actually. I've got a connection. I know who could probably translate that for me. And also, oh, look at this. Change involves BHN. And I do have to agree, BHN has had some of the best interviews.
Yes, they they are always especially the one with Deb and Rawari, where after the spray tan bullshit that Debbie just went through, the fact that they just took it on the chin and like rip it into one another, it was so genuine, and I need more of that in my life. Like, they just have they have a level of professionality which I like. There's also this kind of like, we're here to kind of break things and fuck shit up, so like, I don't give a shit. But I mean, I you know, parts of Māori obviously have something going on. I don't know what it is, but generally speaking, I think they're fucking great.
Oh no, and I
cool
do
kids in the room.
actually, I do think that there's actually quite a valid tactic that they're taking at the moment in terms of being very selective about who they talk about, because we see the media bias, we see all of the clickbait, all of the, also just the titles that are clearly dog whistling, of the amount of articles that are always negatively written about Māori and all of these things. Like, I think that we actually need to have more conversations about how we actually do all of these things, you know. Like, I know there was a comment earlier about, like, say, Jerry's little tantrum being more about the fact that she ran over time and the haka wasn't approved. If we had a government that was truly set up the way it was meant to be, there would be space for these things to begin with. So, like, I think that's something that we really, all of these things need to be kind of continued in the kōrero, because there's a lot going on, and I think things are definitely going to get harder before they get better. Also, Avasta, we actually had a conversation about it. There was a nuance different. I'm just going off what Fire said. Also, Kiwi Bird for $2 has said, "Tiro here a ho senpai," and like that could work. That could work. So there you go.
I feel like Notice Me Senpai is just, it's, yeah, I don't know.
Also, we didn't finish
It'll be
this
an
chat.
equivalent though.
I found it. Look
you
at
did?
this phony crap. They're all policies by an act. My eyes
Nicola
get so red.
Beck.
And there's no hair on Luxon's head. I saw it in the comment earlier and I was like, fuck. No, that was a brain fart
You missed that
moment.
one.
Thank you for you for getting back to us about that one, because also, fun neurodivergent fact that I actually had a giggle at: the slang word we use for autism, tism, is an anagram for stim, and I really like that. My brain likes that. And another $2 one while we're here: the trees can't be harmed if the Lorax is armed. Just saying. You know what? I actually never seen that movie, but I get what you're saying. I should watch that movie actually. Peter Syme, I saw The Matrix unspoiled. Best movie experience ever. I have never fully watched The Matrix. It's one of those ones you see on TV, parts of it on TV over the years. But yeah, that's all of our super chats. Wow.
Nice. Well, we are well and truly into probably our longest episode ever territory, so I think we are due to, although I feel like it was warranted. PHN mention is always warranted for, you know.
Also, hopefully, I do agree, hopefully we can get Hannah. But yeah, I mean, breaking news, getting on Mata. Actually, I'll have to text Pat. I should text Pat.
No, don't do it now. Don't do it right now.
Okay.
Wait, hang on.
Pat actually texted me. Wait, he texted us.
Oh, no. It was
See?
just the Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Oh, look at that. I love how everyone was. I didn't even know the Nobel Peace Prizes was today.
Someone did mention it in the chat, but no, it was just saying it's not. Thank God. All right. I think we need to.
Yeah, we
need to send these people off. Yes, send them off into this wonderful weekend with a song that cheers up all the young'uns.
Help us settle a debate, whether it be thoughtful or funny, even if we're all creatures of hate. Fine line that we're walking together, for better push aside the temptation to berate. Let's take a note of the corners we stand in, as many points as the hairs on my chinny chin chin. When the news that we're watching is hairy,
Thanks everyone for joining us on this Friday evening. I hope you enjoyed it with shenanigans. And before I forget, go vote. It's your last opportunity before 12 p.m. tomorrow. If you're joining us for the Patreon meeting at 11 a.m. tomorrow, go and vote before that if you haven't already. That's it from me. Magenta?
And if you know anyone who hasn't voted, go take their paper down before 12. But also, if you're a patron, do it before like 10, because yeah, we got a meeting at 11. So, looking forward to seeing those people tomorrow. And yeah. I'm unplugging this weekend. The world's heavy. Let's go. Keep cool till after school.
Fair enough. Catch you guys next week at 9 p.m. for more Big Heroes, and the boys will be back with you on Monday at 9 p.m. Jenny, bye-bye.
You can do a special vote. Go do it.